But first tonight, Maine's lobstermen and women are hoping this year is going to be a better one than 2022. Last year they saw lower prices, a smaller catch, and more worries about new government regulations making it harder to fish.
In the eye of that storm is Pat Kelleher, Maine's Commissioner of can we just say that again? Pat Kelleher, Maine's Commissioner of Marine Resources. I could get it out, I told you. It's a job most Mainers don't hear much about, but these days he's on the front line of defending the state's fishing industry. 207's Don Kerrigan talked with him as the department rolled out the latest snapshot of Maine's lobster harvest.
Lobster is an essential piece of Maine's brand and its business. So any rough waters for the lobster industry can ripple across our state's economy. In 2022, those ripples became waves, and the annual Lobster Landings Report shows why.
Obviously, the first thing anybody's going to see is that this is a huge decrease from last year.
Everybody's going to focus on 2021. We had that huge year, especially with lobster. The value was through the roof, all-time high.
How high? The year before last, lobster prices went into the stratosphere and brought more than $700 million to fishermen at the dock. But Marine Resources Commissioner Pat Kelleher says that last year, 2022, was like a blast of cold salt water reality.
And now it's like we overcorrected and went back the other direction.
The 2022 landings report shows the value of lobster at the dock dropped by nearly half, down to $388 million. That means fishermen lost more than $300 million of income from one year to the next. Most of that driven by a huge drop in the market price, and that caused something else to happen.
We were less than 100 million pounds for the first time in a long time. But when you have a low boat price like that, the behavior of the fishermen changes. There were 50,000 less trips taken last year. So that's driven because of the boat price. It's driven because of fuel and bait price.
You know there were 50,000 fewer trips?
And that's not surprising at all.
But low prices and less income were just part of the gloom that swamped the industry last year. The other part, says Kelleher, was the unrelenting fight over new federal regulations to protect endangered right whales.
And what could you tell them? I mean, you didn't have a lot of reassurance for them.
No, I didn't, because of the uncertainty. I mean, we're dealing with it too, right? I mean, we're spending thousands and thousands of dollars on attorneys trying to remove the thumb off the scale that the agency has.
Kelleher, the state of Maine, and the lobster industry argue that federal regulators have been using inadequate data, agency bias, and flawed science to target Maine fishermen as a threat to the whales.
I'm not going to disagree that right whales are critically endangered, but there's a better approach here that doesn't also make the lobster industry become endangered.
And now he's hoping for a chance to prove it. In December, the industry got a sudden reprieve. Congress passed a 6-year delay in new right whale regulations. It's an idea Kelleher says began with the department and its lawyers.
What we did with the governor and the congressional delegation in Congress was just shy of a miracle.
Is it too strong a statement to say that at least temporarily, saved the lobster industry?
It's not too strong a statement at all. It did save the lobster industry.
But only for a while, he says.
Whale rules aren't going to go away. We just need to make sure that the best available science is used in a realistic way so we can try to find a path forward.
In his 11 years as commissioner under 2 governors, Pat Kelleher has earned respect from a lot of the fishermen, a typically tough audience. He is one level of government, often fighting another, at least for whale regulation, and now debating whether the changing climate could be a cause of the lower lobster catch.
We're seeing some things in our surveys that are concerning, that are becoming trends. We're seeing in our trawl survey fewer lobsters, especially mid-coast and down east. We're seeing it in our ventless trap surveys as well. I'm not waving a red flag yet. I think it is, and it's really hard to say, is what happened this year related to those declines in the trends that we're seeing? Is it related to climate change? When you take 50,000 trips out of the equation, that's a lot of lobsters that could have come ashore.
But he agrees the warming Gulf of Maine waters are a real worry. because of lobster disease and decline in southern New England.
We're not seeing some of those signs, so I'm kind of waving a yellow flag right now. We need to be cautious, and we need to make sure that we've got a plan in place that's protective and resilient for the long term.
What do the fishermen, when you talk to them about that, what do they say?
It's split right now, 50-50, I'd say. Some say do what you need to do. Others are concerned that a small gauge change could be detrimental to the overall yield. And
Kelleher will need to help the lobster industry find out how to balance all that, balancing the response to climate change and right whale rules, and the always unpredictable question of how much of Maine's economy will continue to come from the sea.
Commissioner Kelleher says that research on right whales in the Gulf of Maine will involve the university and others.
They're asking the legislature for money to replace the department's existing airplane with a larger one so they can fly farther out to sea to search for whales.